Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another astounding week of the Siege of Middenheim. I'm glad you all could be here today on this wonderful Friday evening. If you're in the eastern United States, if you're in other places, it's whatever time it is there while you're watching this. Welcome. So, as you can see today, we're going to have a full crew, full complement of people, which is always great. We're going to hope that Discord doesn't bug out on us too much, like it did the end of last session. And we're going to fight a necromancer that's got some weird shit going on with him. And I'm really excited to do so. So without further ado, I want to jump right into it and get to talking to everybody.
It's just that in manga, they try to add their own flavor. Like where a lot of fantasy manga, you'll find like weird stuff that's like heavily Japanese inspired, you know? And the L's will look kind of weird. Like, have you ever seen like what the Japanese think of as L's?
What?
They just look very different.
Are you speaking with anyone? Because I can't hear anyone else.
I was speaking with Brian.
Hello, Brian?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Good. Just Jackson was like going on and then like pausing for more input and then nobody was talking.
Oh.
So I thought either he was talking to himself or he was talking to somebody who I had muted for whatever reason.
Oh no, I had something to go do.
So I was talking to myself.
Yeah, you were. Absolutely.
Okay, good. I'm glad my assessment of the situation was correct. Fantastic. Hello everyone, glad you all could be here today.
Hello.
Liam should be here shortly. I'm sure he's just preparing himself. It's gonna be fun today. We have what I suspect to be one of the more climactic and harrowing battles in this campaign. We finally engaged the necromancer boss, so we'll see how that turns out for all of you, whether or not you're able to defeat him, and all of his dirty tricks to make you guys ineffective. So other than that, it's good to see and hear everybody's wonderful, lovely voices. Looks like Dalton is muted, so we'll start with you, Jackson. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
How has your week been?
Interesting.
Good. I feel like interesting for you is a different definition than everyone else in the world, so please explain.
Well, Will knows why already. At the very end of himself. So basically, you know, I'm going to India in a couple months.
Right. Yes, you had mentioned
and
that.
I am filling out visas and shit like that. And I remembered my friend. Actually, it was from India. So I gave him a call. And, you know, we're talking. I'm like, hey, he says, where are you going? I go, Bhubaneswar. It's in, you know, Odisha. It's like a temple. It's like a very religious place. So I'm not going to fit in immediately. But,
correct.
So he goes, oh, that's actually where my family's from. I go, really?
Oh, that's super cool.
Great. Yeah. And then so he says, yeah, my parents and my little sister still live there. I go, oh, okay. You should date my sister. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Hold on, what?
You should date my sister. No, that seems...
Yeah, no, that was a very... I wasn't sure he said that meant what he said, because English isn't his first, but he clarified it. And then I was like, I'm not there to fuck around.
I don't think that's what he meant either.
I really don't think so either.
Yeah, but no, so I, in that conversation with him, the next fucking day I get a call saying, my parents want to talk to you about my sister.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And like, here's the story about her. Her arranged marriage, the person she was supposed to marry died.
Oh, okay.
So
So she's a Black Widow, is what you're saying.
Well, she never actually. I don't know. And
Right, well, that's the point. Black widow
Things
spiders
are-
don't get married either, but they still get eaten.
yeah, so things are weird, and I don't like where things are going.
I'm glad that you've confided in Will in this, because he, being British and also being a member of the royal family, is probably used to arranged marriage situations and can easily provide you with important life advice and what you should do
Really,
next.
because so far it's been you're fucked.
You know,
Also,
I think
important life device.
I think
life
that
advice.
is yeah, no, I think that's the advice that he has for you
Yeah.
in these trying times.
And now I'm caught between the thought of, should I go meet them?
No,
I don't want to
you
get
should
roped
not.
into this fucking thing.
You should
But
not.
I'm going to be in a
Unless
foreign country.
unless you want to be married to this girl, and then you know what, go for it.
Here's the thing too that's creeped me out a lot. She's 17.
Oh,
so-
okay, yeah, no, do not visit them in
Yeah.
any manner whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not. This is. It creeped me out a lot.
Yeah, I think
But,
that is where you pull both the primary shoot and the secondary shoot simultaneously, and pray to God that you just start ascending instead of falling slowly to the ground.
Yeah, so that's how my week's been.
That's fantastic. I like that story. It's a good story.
Mm.
And surprisingly more clean than most of your stories, Jackson, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's fucking great. Glad to fucking serve.
You would probably be doing the Indian family a very honorable thing.
That's what gets me the most. Is like, if somebody heard a description about me, never would their first thought be, "I want them to meet my daughter."
Correct. In fact,
That
if there is a
guy
point
knew me.
in my life in which I have children, you will never be in the same state as us.
Oh shit! You just made a goal for me.
I know. It's okay. I'm never going to tell you where I live ever.
Don't worry.
I'm going to become a hermit and move across the lands.
You could try. Oh,
Playing
hey,
in-
Liam, to catch you up, I have an arranged marriage.
Correct. That's pretty much all you need to know, Liam. Welcome to the
I
party.
don't know if that's a true statement.
Yeah. It pretty
No,
much
I mean,
is.
it's pretty true, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to get out of it.
No, it's not. I'm not disagreeing with the truth of the statement made initially. The assertion that that's all I need to know is the part that I'm questioning here. What?
I have a friend who's from India. It turns out that he's actually from where I'm going. His parents and little sister still live there. He recommends that I date his sister, and immediately I'm like, "You bet me, right? No. Why would you wish this hell upon your family?" And then the next day, pretty much, I get a call saying, "When you get to India, my parents want to talk to you about my sister."
Amazing.
That's a thing that happened. Will, I don't know
Okay.
how you're going to top that, but hello. Or, wait, did you have something else, Liam?
I can wait for my turn.
Okay.
My life has been encompassed with House of Cards.
Oh my god, how far are you?
Season 5.
Okay, good.
Remaining.
Good. You're
Yeah.
in the Twilight Zone now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about some of the events.
Just everything, just all of it in general.
Yeah. Like, 1 minute they were all happy, lovey-dovey, and then they were at each other's throats. Like, next episode again.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Huh?
yeah.
The show
It's-
gets real weird.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, I love my intelligent, shows. Like, I think I spent far too long of my teenage years watching anime characters just shout at each other and hit each other over the head. That proper intelligent thinking out, shows I really love. So
Good. Kevin Spacey is also a master of his craft, so he's an absolute pleasure to watch in anything that he does.
House of Cards is the one with Steve Buscemi, right?
No, I don't think Steve Buscemi's in that show. Am I crazy?
No.
What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but now I want to see House of Cards with
Yeah,
character replaced
yeah,
by Steve
exactly.
Buscemi.
Just any of the characters replaced by Steve Buscemi would be
He's the only
great.
one I know.
Well, I always loved him. He's like one of my favorite characters ever.
You mean people?
Well, yes.
You know he's real, right?
No, I don't
Really?
think. Liam, listen. I think that perhaps Steve Buscemi is the character that
Oh, like
individual
that.
plays.
Okay, fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. He's just
Oh
like
my
he's
God.
method all the time.
He's in the new anime series on Netflix. I gotta watch it now.
There you go. That's probably what you were mistaking for House of Cards, Jackson.
It was
Or-
not.
Boardwalk Empire, but that's fine.
That's it. Yes.
Will, anything else besides House of Cards marathoning?
No, everything's all quiet in the port. I mean, I just pissed myself laughing at Jackson's story.
Good.
Yeah, laugh at my fucking pain.
It's pretty amusing,
Yeah.
to be fair.
That's how most of my humor from you comes from.
Why could you laugh at such a good person being hurt?
Brian, how's your week been?
So, as you probably know, I have completed Shadow of War.
So there is an ending.
There is a definite ending.
Okay, good.
It is just a cutscene. No, you do not need to play through all 10 stages.
Okay, good. So I finished the game at this point.
Yes.
Great.
Wait, that's
The
supposed-
ending
wait,
is. Sorry.
unsatisfying.
It's a very unsatisfying ending.
Yeah. Let's just
I've
put
had
it
that
this way.
problem with the last two games I played.
Okay, so it's a cool ending. I get it. But it's very lackluster after going through 10 stages of fort sieges. It was still cool, got some cool orcs, you know. It was fun. That was my life for a good week. And now I'm on to Pokemon Uranium for whatever reason, but that's going to be my new life. So, yeah, here I am.
Pokemon Uranium.
It's
A fan-made Pokemon.
yeah. They released like the full version and then immediately got a DMCA takedown
Of course
from
they did.
Nintendo. So
It's the
basically
internet,
it's still
so-
out there everywhere, but they're no longer patching it. But it's amazing, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, maybe Nintendo should have hired those people to make the Pokemon game instead of whatever garbage they spewed out.
Yeah, they should have, because it's fucking fantastic. And it's all like original art assets.
Yeah, it is, which is cool.
That's
What are we talking about?
Holy shit, you're really loud. It's not you, it's just that sometimes Discord doesn't... It remembers the settings, but it doesn't actually apply them when we first join, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get you.
But anyway, that sounds like a good time. I will probably not go back then, and I'll just have you message me what the ending is. Because I think I'm on stage 6, and stage 6 is the one where like all 4 need to be done now, and I'm just like, it's so much. Because like it's cool, but it is like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. And
If they
it's
did something-
really easy once you get like full 60s in your fort, and you're just like,
Yeah, like if I was, I think if they had mixed it up or made it more interesting to do, it would be, smarter. But
or like difficult. Like,
I'm just gonna pretend that the game ends at Act 3.
Yeah. Just go watch the cutscene on.
I'm sure it's on
YouTube.
YouTube or
It's-
something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably what I'll
it's
do.
a pretty cool cutscene.
And then I can
decent
free up 100
thing.
gigs on my hard drive for fuck's sake.
Holy shit.
No kidding.
Dude, it's the biggest game I've ever installed.
No, not that. Steve Buscemi was in Armageddon.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was. He was one of the main characters.
I like how
I've never
Jackson's
seen
on
it.
IMDb for Steve Buscemi now.
And you call yourself a fan.
I never seen Armageddon.
Well, you should. It has Steve Buscemi in it.
Uh-huh.
You poser.
Right.
Damn it, you're right. I should be ashamed of myself.
I missed something here, but
I mean,
it's okay.
usually, but
You missed a lot of things.
You did. You
Mhm.
missed a lot of things.
Jackson's in an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Precisely the reaction.
I see
we
now
should
why
have
that's
in this.
satisfying from your side. Okay.
Yeah, isn't it? Megan, hi, hello.
What poor soul?
Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold your questions till the end. Megan, hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
How are you? What's been going on with your week?
I am fine. My week was good. I have watched many episodes of Naruto. I think we're at 22
8?
episodes.
No, I think you're at 28.
Wait, of
Yeah.
the original Naruto?
Which is
Yeah.
Those
is
are
a
kitty
drop in the
numbers. You need to
bucket
fuck
of
those
Naruto.
up.
Yes, I realized that there's a long road ahead. But I've never watched it ever in my whole life.
Oh,
Well, then again, I really haven't either, so I can't really speak.
Yeah.
there's gonna
Uh.
be some sections where you start to hate life. Work through it.
Listen,
Here's a
listen.
good thing.
here's the deal. I told Megan. I said, listen, before you start watching this, I need to let you know I have cried more during this anime than probably any other TV series, show, movie, any form of media ever in the entire livelihood that I've been alive. And
Really?
I don't think she believed me when I first said that. And then we got through the Great Naruto Bridge arc.
Oh yeah, with Haku.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say I was sobbing, but I might have been sobbing.
So it's so good though. It hurts so good.
Oh.
Anyway.
Gara's
Yeah.
the best character ever. You'll meet him soon enough.
Who is it?
Gara.
No one. No one.
You Gara's
I
yeah.
met Gara.
Eyeliner.
Eyeliner boy.
Eyeliner.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
My least favorite currently is Bug Boy.
Aw,
He's not my
she
friend.
was so cool.
He is so cool.
But he,
And he gets better.
He gets way better as well. No. Let's just all agree Sakura is the worst character in the history of Naruto.
Have you
True.
seen that meme where it's like Team 7 at 100% power and has all three of them? And then it's just Naruto and Sasuke. It's a Team 7 at 99.9% power.
It's pretty good.
Accurate. What was it? What did you say the other day, Megan? You were like, her only job is to scream narrative suggestions and their names really loudly.
And their names really loudly, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't change.
That's what I, that's what I
God
said.
damn it.
I was like, yeah, prepare for 500 episodes of this bullshit until she actually gets useful somewhat.
All that happens is that she gets told where to stand, and then she just yells their names, exacerbated, and I'm just like, what? Why aren't you doing anything though? Like, what the
If
fuck?
you feel that way now, you're going to be delighted at the start of Shippuden, then immediately disappointed.
Correct. Yes. Correct. 100%.
God.
So, like, the other thing is, also, Ino is a terrible, terrible character, but her only redeeming quality is the fact that she has a really cool power.
She has an insane power.
Right?
She never uses well.
I know. If only she could, do anything.
Yeah. Imagine like Shikamaru with that power.
Be good.
God, no. There would. He'd be the Hokage. He'd be the hero.
He basically is the hero, though, for being fair.
Anyways.
Enough about Naruto, because I don't want any spoilers
Sorry
for
to
those.
start a super Naruto conversation, but
No spoilers for anyone that.
D&D. Not
seen the
anime.
thing.
D&D.
Also, I forgot to
Correct.
mention, sister getting married. Yay.
Woo.
What?
Is it arranged?
Wait, hold on.
My oldest sister, Alexandra, she's getting married to my old boss.
I thought that had already happened for some reason.
No, I went to a marriage.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought that, like, that had already happened.
Wait,
No,
don't you go to a wedding? Not go. That's what
Yeah,
you
wasn't it for like a cousin?
went to a marriage.
Yeah, I went for a cousin's wedding.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was one of the groomsmen.
I probably was just not paying attention. Yeah, I have to do that in about 30 days. It's kind of annoying because it's on Black Friday. Who the fuck gets
Ugh.
married on Black Friday? For reals.
Don't go? Question mark.
I'm a groomsman.
me
I
too.
don't have a choice.
Fake it.
I will.
Just fake it.
I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. I will literally not be alive if I don't show up, and not because Devin kills me, but because his fiance will kill me. So.
Oh God, yeah, that was
I
horrible.
mean, from what I know of American Black Friday, not going could also get you killed.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point.
What are you talking about? To get $10 off a TV, I'd murder someone for that.
That is exactly the problem with your country. Thank you for summing that up.
Yeah, thanks for being concise there, Jackson.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Anything else, Megan?
What else? There's something else I wanted to say. I can't remember. Oh yeah. I learned that one of my students today is super excited about D&D, so we totally talked about it for like all of recess, and it was glorious. It was a good teacher moment in my life. So just
Nice.
throwing that out there. I'm passing it along to other generations.
Did you tell him about us?
In not so many words, sure.
She mentioned that there was another group of people she played with. That's probably the summation of what she said on that subject.
Correct.
The version that's suitable for school children.
Correct. Yeah.
For 11 and 12-year-olds, correct.
So you left me out of it.
100%.
But I'm a good influence for children.
Negative.
Well, I'm an example of what not to do.
Accurate.
You're cautionary.
Yeah. Liam, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been an iffy week. Haven't been feeling great, but I'm doing pretty well now. The job search continues, and National Novel Writing Month is coming up, and I'm thinking I'd like to get in on that. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell it is that I'm going to write. It's been a couple of years since I wrote a book. So,
Is that
all of you folks
November?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Rima?
I thought so.
I always
So-
envy people who do that. So if you do end up accomplishing that task, my hat's off to you.
Oh, thank you. I've succeeded at it before, but only once have I actually produced like the kind of book that could conceivably be published. Although, again, it's still second draft, so I wouldn't really call it publishable.
I just feel like
Anyway.
I don't have
Still
enough.
impressive.
I feel like I would like to attempt something like that, not with my current schedule though.
Yeah.
That is my. I think that is my biggest problem because like I don't think I could finish a story in 30 days.
Well, it's not about finishing the entire story. It's just a 50,000 word goal. But
Sure.
yeah, that tends to be about half a book
What is that?
per day.
Yeah,
1,667.
not bad.
Yeah, that's not that bad. I mean, to do that continuously for
I
30
mean,
days is difficult.
Yeah.
Exactly. The continuous part. I've definitely written 5,000 words in a day with no sweat
Yeah,
off
my
back.
friend's record is 9,000.
When
One day. I was going to say one day she'll stop talking about that, but it won't happen. No, that's foolish.
when successfully motivated, of course.
Yeah.
I can really pump out the words. Well, that's cool. I would love to proofread something that you wrote.
Well,
I would
y'all
love
can
to
just
just
inspire
read
me because I'm still looking for ideas. So
Fantastic.
have at.
A man trying to get out of an arranged marriage.
There you go. That,
You
I
know.
mean, that's
Pretty good plot hook right there, not gonna lie.
yeah, pretty good one. Like maybe he's gonna fake his own death.
I mean, I think there are easier ways of getting out of an arranged marriage, but
Yeah, but
Nope,
we have to be
that's the only way.
dramatic. We have to be dramatic.
well,
the only way.
I look forward to meeting. What are you even going to call yourself when you come back? Maxon?
Me?
Yeah.
Why would
After
I
you
call
fake
myself
death.
a different name? Oh, you
You
mean
can't
that
fake your own death and then come back with the same name.
one. Why can't I?
No, Jackson,
Because this is
100%
voice only,
would.
so we can't see the fake mustache.
God, amazing. Dalton doubling
I already
back.
have a mustache, so would I just shave it off and put it?
No, you put on another one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
Correct.
Oh my god, are you new at this?
Yes.
What you do, Jackson, is you shave it off and then put on a fake one. That is
That looks exactly the same like my old one.
correct. Yeah, that is the chain of events that needs to occur. Dalton, hello. How's your week?
It has been, I suppose, more relievement than previous weeks. I've found out, finalized that I'm moving. I should be out of my old place at Tuesday, so that's gonna be fun. So, but from the sounds of it, it's probably going to be either Sunday or Monday when I should be officially out. But we just have until Tuesday to be officially out. So there's that. So yeah, I'm going to be living in a new place, and by a new place, it's really moving into a place that's already with people in it because we have to live with my mom's friend for a bit. So, but other than that, life is going. So, getting transferred at my work. So, because
is that a good or a bad thing?
I mean, it's going to be different store, same shift, same job. So, I'm going to deal with different people. And
I would say good thing then. That might provide opportunity.
Well, see, I like my work crew. Like, I like my coworkers currently. I just hate the bosses. The bosses are just complete fucking garbage because they're lazy sacks of shit and then tell us what to do. And we do exactly what they tell us to do, and they're like, now do more. And we're like, I don't think you understand how human bodies work. We can only do so much within a given time frame. So,
Makes sense.
It's something.
Back to the grind then for you.
Yeah, it's essentially that. And then hopefully within the near future I can get out of that place because I don't want to be there. It's miserable, but whatever. But yeah, D&D, and I have a chicken sub and got Jack and Coke. So yay!
A good combination.
Yeah.
So yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Last time we all met together, there was a little bit of investigation and world building, but mostly it was kind of the resolution of the battle outside the church, and kind of in the engaging of this kind of crazy necromancer individual who we've gotten a little bit more like visual detail on, but I think that most importantly we've kind of put our foot in it perhaps a little bit with the arrival of the group that has burst through the front door. It's kind of set things into motion perhaps before they could be really like talked out or smoothed over, or there could have been a whole lot of narrative. That's not to say that during combat you can't obviously have narrative, but that is to say that it kind of set into motion the ensuing combat that would decide the fate of those present. So with that being said, it's really actually pretty cut and dry what we're doing here. And the goal is obviously, as always, to survive, but also to stop whoever this very powerful necromancer who, you know, we've met in passing a few times. We stole a staff from him at one point. And now we see him casting these strange spells from this, you know, giant book that's resting in the middle of the church, surrounded by a very large, what we assume to be an anti-magic field, which obviously causes a lot of problems because there are a lot of spellcasters in the current party that kind of, I wouldn't say rely on that mechanic, but definitely lean on it heavily.
They're useless without it.
No, I mean, Jericho can stab things, and Farron can stab things, and
Sing vigorously.
I think honestly the most hurt is probably Aelin in this situation, because she doesn't really.
I'm useless in this.
Yeah, she doesn't really hit things a whole lot.
Yeah, but she can stand outside the field and heal people when they come, if we drag them out again.
True,
Guys,
yes.
just run out of the field.
Yeah.
No. I think we're all forgetting how useful she actually is. Really, all we have to do is just throw her at the necromancer so she could snap his neck, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Because she's good at that, apparently.
Yeah, she's great at mercy killing.
Hit him, kill.
It's true. true. That did
So.
happen. That poor jewel crafter. So
He had it coming.
yeah, and I think that there's not really a whole lot of.
Yes, Will.
I don't
Sorry.
think there's a whole lot of prep work involved in showing you the scene again and getting everybody's bearings again. We had progressed a couple of turns through the combat when we finally had run out of time, essentially, to continue on. But it kind of left where there were the three in the back, John and Daniela and Silney, who were like approaching from that direction to see what the ruckus was caused. We had the group in the far south, which is the main force that was outside with the army that had kind of burst in here to challenge this necromancer. And then we had the little infiltration group who has learned some interesting like lore pieces. Definitely have more information on kind of like what's going on with the necromancer himself. Along with your one paladin or knight friend. It wasn't even a paladin, it's just a knight friend that you had helped save, essentially, from that weird like skeleton monk person outside. Yeah, more information, even more description. How's that? Of what exactly is going on. And the advantage that the infiltration group and the group that's coming in from the back doors have is you still kind of maintain the element of surprise in this scenario. Nobody's really aware of your presence.
I'll fix that shortly.
Yeah, no one's really aware of your presence as of yet. So if I remember correctly, we actually ended on Jericho. You had moved, but you hadn't done anything else.
I had moved slightly. I still have more, but yeah, the first thing that's going to happen is going to be that Jericho, with total lack of magic, which is admittedly most of his skill set, is left with far fewer options than he would like, and since he forgot to pack any non-magical tools for this particular situation, he's going to do the next best thing that he can think of and put an arrow in the book.
Okay, yeah.
So now the first question is, do I have advantage against the book since it can't see me?
I think that it's probably not that. You probably do get advantage, but it is most likely because it is a stationary, inanimate object. It's like shooting at a target dummy in this scenario.
Fair enough. Thank you. That was total nonsense, but I'm glad you let me have it.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
I will sneak attack the book,
Yeah.
wishing for the first time ever that I was a rogue instead of a bard.
Ever is a strong word. Cool. So,
Something.
your arrow flies true and aims directly for the book, and the book is open so that you can see like the far page of the book, and the arrow connects, and you see the arrow pierce through the pages, and you hear this very violent scream coming from the book, almost like 1,000 dead souls rising up from the depths of hell, which I will not imitate because I value all of your eardrums.
Thank you.
And as this scream just pierces, it kind of like, it makes everything else more quiet by comparison, I think. I think you see even the individual in the middle, the necromancer, he kind of like, throws his hands up to protect himself. And what you see occur is, the pages which you have pierced with your arrow, they begin to kind of wrinkle and furl, and they ball up into these little kind of paper balls that then begin to disintegrate and kind of float away. And I think you can see that the necromancer's eyes, you see his eyes widen, and he looks up at you for the first time. And you can see his face is filled with fury. And he kind of like, he points in your direction, as if to command creatures to attack you. And I think you notice that these individuals down here They turn their bony heads, kind of just like rotate 90 degrees and look up at you, and they begin kind of shambling over to the railing, or the pillars that lead up to the railing, to kind of like scramble up them to get to where you are.
Cool. I think
that down.
I think Jericho's response when the necromancer first looks at him is to theatrically put a hand to his mouth to project better and call, "Duck!" And then run back into the room to hopefully lure them into Hannibal's firing line.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So, it may seem like it had very little effect, but there are some things that occur here, and I'm marking that down because there is a threshold that can be reached to cause something perhaps interesting to happen.
Dramatic. I mean, the fact that the pages start looking like they were writhing and withering and dying after shooting them is already like pretty satisfying as far as Jericho's concerned.
Good. Fantastic. So
it had an impact.
Moving on, it is Morella's turn. Now, Morella, you burst in through the doors. You hear the necromancer like call out as it kind of like, you can't see him, but it kind of like echoes through the chamber up to where you're standing. And his threats kind of sound. And then you can see these Skelebros who are marching upon you. And this one here, you can see he's wielding like this. He's probably like got it set on the ground, this giant like battle axe, and he's kind of like waiting for you to approach. And also you could probably see in the distance, you can see like these guys coming up and down the stairs maybe. And some archers up on the second level here.
Yeah, those big ugly motherfuckers over there.
Yeah.
I don't like them. But so let me just see something real quick, because I haven't used the spell in a while. Actually, no, I don't think I ever had. So I want to just make sure that it is okay. It is that. All right. Okay. I think Morella just looks back at Cahill and just simply says, "Be careful," and then runs forward. I'm going to take the dash action up until here.
Okay, so just before you get into melee with him.
Yeah, and as a bonus action, this is part of something that I gained from Sphere Master. I am going to essentially ready an attack with a bonus action. So what that does is that if he gets into melee range of me, I can use a reaction to immediately attack him.
Nice.
So it's kind of like charging into a spear type of thing.
Cool, yeah. So you're kind of like standing on the outside of the circle, right? Like, Are you taunting him at all? Are you like in a defensive posture? What does that look like?
Yeah, it is definitely a much more defensive posture. Probably something that we haven't really seen Merla do, but I think it's due to her experiences and things of that sort that she's learned to master the balance and the weight of this weapon that she holds so dearly, and is now like, she does the very Spartan-like stance with the spear like pointing forward and her shield close to her.
Yeah. The spear like resting on the top of the shield, like ready to strike.
Yep.
Cool.
So that is what she is doing.
Awesome. I like it. So that brings us to Cahill himself. Now Cahill, you told him to be careful. However, he is not the most cautious of men out there.
Oh no.
So he probably like he's probably like got his sword out. And you can see he kind of like runs an eye over it and kind of looks and, you know, tests its weight. And then he grips it firmly with both hands because he's wielding a greatsword. And as he charges in, he screams, "For the Empire!" and charges in behind you. And he is also going to dash in this scenario to make it to right next to you. But he doesn't have anything cool with like bonus actions that he. Luckily though, he does have Death Ward, so that's good.
It's like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Not that.
What?
Really hope he doesn't run into the anti-magic field.
Mm.
Well, that too.
He doesn't know he has it on him either.
Correct. So we
It's
have
okay. I'm here. Don't worry.
we have Daniela, who probably she bursts into the room here and she kind of evaluates the situation quickly. She doesn't know what's going on with the anti-magic field yet. So I think that her idea of what she should do here is she sees or she hears the commotion of the people from the front door. She probably catches a glimpse of you, Jericho, as you run in. She sees like the skeletons like shambling over. And I think her idea here is she identifies the fact that there's like archers posted up on the second floor here, and I think her goal is to kind of get those guys out of commission. So she's going to take the dash action as well and move to intercept those whenever she can. John, as he runs into the room.
Of him. Can I have control of him?
No. I'm going to play John.
Okay.
So he runs into the room and he's kind of probably like running, like Daniela sprints into the room and like as she's sprinting back, she like waves him to come with her. And so I think he turns. He's just going to walk normally, and then I think he's going to hold an action to like, he's got this dagger in his hand, so I think he's going to hold an action to like attack anything that comes near him. Which brings us
John,
to...
you're a wizard.
Not really. Which brings us to this next creature. Now this creature has kind of essentially formed right over the course of this turn. And you see like it looks exactly like it looks right here. It is essentially very reminiscent of a bone golem. Like a giant construct made of bone would be like a good accurate description of what's going on here. So with that being said, it obviously definitely has some of the more interesting powers and things that bone golems do. And I think its big shambling hulk as it walks kind of drops dust. It kind of drops dust from like the rafters underneath the stairs as it kind of like as it begins to march down the staircase. And its elongated stride allows it to move quite a bit of ways as it moves 40 feet. And it sees the group of you, it sees Farron, it sees you like charging on Bernadette, and it sees Morella in a defensive posture, it sees Cahill like sword raised charging into the fray. And I think what you see it do is I think you see it it takes its big fist and raises it over its head and kind of like slams it on the ground. And Farron, well, probably more appropriately, Bernadette, needs to make a dexterity saving throw. I will roll this for her.
Dodge action help with this?
You know, isn't there a special ability that allows a dodge action to help with this?
I don't think so.
What about what now? What are you asking?
Since it's his mount making this, I'm not sure. That's kind of weird.
Well, it's really important we know now.
Yeah.
What was the question asked?
Can I use my magical item to help in this scenario?
I would say yes. I think that's totally fine. You can extend basically because you're the writer, so you can identify. So what happens here, Farron, is you rein Bernadette up, and just where she was about to step, you see this these bones come bursting from the ground, throwing up like a bunch of dirt and grime and mud everywhere. And they didn't look to impale Bernadette, but they looked to entrap her. Obviously, with you top of them. But it does create an effect that actually remains on the field. Let me get that sort of effect for you. Wow, how perfect is this? Don't worry, you're not actually trapped, but it did make the attempt to trap you.
Sure.
And the golem doesn't make any noise. It just kind of like rattles and clatters as it raises its fist from the ground. Now I need to make a saving throw for something hidden that you guys don't know about yet. And I use "don't know about" loosely. So let's see what happens. Okay, everything's fine.
Everything's just fine.
So we move on, and Morella, we see this this battle axe wielder. He kind of like sees you stop and take pause, and I think he lifts his battle axe up and throws it on his shoulder, and like steps forward and swings at the same time as he moves forward to engage you.
Okay.
And let's see. Let me pull up his character sheet.
So, I'm assuming my reaction would trigger at this point.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you get to attack for sure.
Okay. So, I looked it up to be more precise. When I use this ability with it, it also adds an additional damage die
Sure.
onto it. So, I will just do that real quick. So, here we go. Here's the attack roll. So.
Nice. Okay, so it is enough to hit him and deal 14 damage. So
that should be piercing.
Correct. That should be piercing. Yes. So yeah, you chink into the in through the creature's armor, and you see it pierce its armor, but it kind of does that thing where, like, as a skeleton, it looks down at the spear you've stabbed it with, and kind of kind of just like looks up at you, right, and then like brings down its attack on you. You definitely dealt it damage, but
not as much.
Yeah, luckily you have a magic spear, so it does make up a little bit for the difference.
Correct.
But its great axe comes down upon you. With the first roll / crit of the night.
It's only 16 damage.
Hey, Will.
Why has RNGesus forsaken us?
At least I could take a crit like a champ, unlike somebody I know. Farron.
You know what? That's a good point, Hannibal. Let me roll that real quick. For some reason, I didn't roll that in the beginning. Probably because I had like 20 characters.
Yeah, sorry, I did want to interrupt.
No, totally. You're absolutely correct. It might matter. It won't matter this turn, but it definitely might matter in future. There you go.
Shit.
Knight rolled pretty good. Moving people up in the turn order when there's so many players is so annoying. There we go. Okay. Cool. So yeah, his blow lands true. Do they get 2 attacks? Oh, he does get 2 attacks. Okay.
Sorry.
So he swings again, landing another hit on you for the same damage as the critical before.
Yeah. So. All right.
Yeah. So he bashes into your shield arm, and like you're kind of off balance because your spear went probably farther through than you thought, and you kind of get battered down twice. But don't worry, Bay Hill is there to save you. His turn.
Yeah.
However, there's another one of those individuals, and what his job is going to be, he's going to essentially take the dash action to try and climb up this rail, or climb up this pillar to get to where Jericho was. But he's got to make an athletics check. Oh, he's actually pretty good at athletics. Okay. Probably like a 15 or higher. It's like a slick stone pillar. So it's not going to be very easy for him to do so. Nope, he doesn't do it. So he's down there kind of like scrabbling. He's like he's like secures his big giant axe on his back, and he's like trying to find a handhold, but can't quite get it. So he basically wastes his turn doing that. Lucky for Jericho. Or perhaps him.
Lucky. This is exactly what his plan was.
Uh,
I literally explained how this was his plan.
So next is Silney. Silney's going to walk in here. And I think when she gets to right here, I need to make I believe a wisdom save. Because she is probably more aware of what's happening inside of this room than anyone else. And it may cause her to act in a specific way or not.
You might be regretting not taking her with us.
We'll find out.
So let's make that wisdom saving throw. She's
right
pretty
next to
good.
Daniela, so I'm pretty sure if she does anything evil, that problem will solve itself.
Yeah, and so I think what happens, also hilarious. I think what happens is as she comes running in here, she's going to use the dash action to get to right here, and as she does, I think we see her. She grabs Daniela's hand and like begins dragging her along with her. Like she's got an idea of some sort.
Good.
That may help out the crew of NPCs who will inevitably probably take a lot of injuries. So it is Nox's turn. And Kree, if I remember correctly, you had like a readied action, right? Is that what you did? Yeah. So
readied action to attack with my lance.
Right. But Nox has to get into combat first.
Yes. This is where I come up with a question. I have the class feature Fleet of Foot. I get to use dash actions as bonus actions.
Yeah.
Does that apply to Noct?
I think that everything that applies to like you should apply to a mount because that just makes sense.
Got it.
And also Farron, I was thinking perhaps in the future, we'll rule it the way it is ruled now, but perhaps in the future, if you were to take like the mounted combatant, then you could apply certain abilities. Because I believe Kree, you have that ability, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So like having that ability might be what makes you apply your special effects to your mount. But regardless, doesn't matter. So it is Nox's turn.
Okay, so Noct is gonna use his bonus action to dash. This right here, I can't see what it is.
That's Cahill.
Okay, that's Cahill.
Please don't attack him.
Please
I
don't hit
mean-
my sweet bay.
I mean, you'd hate for that death word to go to waste.
He'd also hate Morella to get really pissed.
So
So I'm gonna move up here, just around Cahill, because slither.
sure, I'll allow it. It's a medium inside of a large square. It's totally fine.
It's fine. And with that, Kree comes into range of this creature.
Actually, technically, Cahill could be on the other side too. So just so there's no argument.
Lance attack.
Yeah. So you strike him for the 19, no problem. However, your lance is even less effective than Marilla's spear, I would say. You have the added bonus from like being like hitting like with the charge, but the creature kind of just like kind of rolls off of the lance strike. You don't actually get like a full piercing. You probably just basically hit him like with the force of it, and he just like rolls off of it.
Perfect. And then Noct, if possible, he wants to try and dig out some of the staircase in front of him.
Does that take a action? Or did you
Sorry,
not dash? I'm sorry, I don't know how far you moved.
It was 60 feet, bonus action of dash.
Oh, right. That's why you asked that. Totally. Makes sense. Yeah, so you could dig out this, you could try and, like, break apart this area right here, for sure. He's got a digging speed, so I don't think it's particularly hard, but I do think because this is, like, manufactured stone, it's probably a bit more durable than just dirt, right? It's compact. So why don't you make me an athletics check with Noct, just to see how effective he is at, like, breaking apart some of the stone. An 18's pretty good. So, let's see here. Let me find my rubble token real quick. Perfect. Nope, not that one. Yep, this one. So I think Noct is able to perhaps break apart like these two pieces of stair right there.
Awesome.
like right in front of him. Cool, awesome. Yeah, so now that's it's not impassable terrain, it's probably difficult terrain at this point.
Cool. And I believe that's it.
Cool. So we move on to Skelebro's turn. Basic, simple, no danger at all, I'm sure, Skelebros. As they move up, as they move up into range for their attacks. Now the other two are going to do the same as their leader. And they're going to make athletics check. I'll make them individually because it might matter. Let's get some skeleton.
How far are they climbing up?
So standard floor height is 10 feet. That's just well, at least in Florida. Ask me how I know that, because I went to school for civil engineering.
How'd you know?
Congrats. Cool to know.
And by went to school, I mean I did a semester and was like, fuck this shit. Where are you, skeleton? There they are. Alright, let's make some athletics checks for these guys. Boop, boop. Nope. No, they're all just like trying to find handholds and just not succeeding swimmingly. However, one is going to attack Cahill and one's going to attack the Kree knocked combo, which I assume you're going to take the hit, Kree?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Alright. So they have, these are the ones with short swords and shield. So, one attack on Kree first. To hit. And then one attack on Cahill, which is definitely not a hit. Yeah, he just batters it away with his greatsword. No problems. Alright. So they've engaged in their combat. I think that's all for them. So we bring it to Aelin Ashriver. So you guys were informed that this is a anti-magic field. So you guys are aware, and you probably know what most of that means, Aelin. In the fact that like spells aren't going to go in and out of it.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
The stairs, were they in the way of us seeing Varen rip the book?
Yes, correct. Yeah, they were in the way. You heard his voice echo like around the corridors and through the halls, like as you entered.
But I really, from where I am, wouldn't have had an idea of like where he would be standing.
Yeah, technically. It's just the way that dynamic lighting works,
Okay.
Unfortunately. I can't make it levels. I wish. I hope that one day.
Okay, well, that changes what I was going to do, but that's okay.
Yes, realism. It's such a pain.
God, it's so lame. All right, so I just moved my normal, and then I'm gonna bless my sweet babes, Bay Hill, Morella, and probably Varen because Kree has shit tons of health.
not to metagame it, but Farron also gets way more injured than you always. So
he always just inherently requires it. So there you go.
Farron is just
tank.
yeah. No, to be fair, Farron, you're always hurt. Like your arm is always hanging off for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Morella, Bayhill, and Farron can all receive the Bless buff. You can add that D4 to attack rolls or saving throws.
Delightful.
Indeed, it is delightful. Will certainly help against some more armored enemies. Ooh, there it is. Oop. Cool. Right. Do you yell anything? Like, you know, do you say anything, or do you just begin your chanting?
I would actually probably ask Varen if he was okay, because just seeing him almost get like
he like rears up the bear.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
if he was all right, you know.
Ha! What you talking about? Of course I'm fine. Yep, nothing to worry about here. Nope, no problems whatsoever. Totally.
Then get over here, Farron.
Because the bear's like rearing up underneath him, he's nearly falling off.
It's like holding, like hugging,
Like,
hugging
no,
the
it's
neck.
Fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
So I do have to mention this to you, Aelin. When you release the magic for your spell, there's a sense of like oiliness to the magic when you touch it. Like when you craft it into the spell, there's this sense of like just everything is greasy. You know, that kind of like, have you ever walked in like a commercial kitchen and have you ever like on the floor, like it's all kind of weird and greasy? That's kind of what it feels like when you cast your spell inside this place. It goes off and you know, you can tell the effects are active. But you do kind of get that strange sensation.
Good to know.
Great. So Baron in the middle, he you know, that was a lot of pages destroyed. So I think that's going to require him to type of check here.
Oh boy.
Pull his. There he is.
You done did it now, Jericho.
Okay, no problem. Totally fine. So I think that
I regret nothing.
None of you are really able to see this. Well, Jericho, you can see it, I would say. You see Varen immediately, the first thing he does is the pages are like they almost look like they're burning up with no fire as they're kind of like, you know, flaking away. He like tries to grab them quickly and like, you know, like he probably like tries to like shove them back in the book, and when they don't, he becomes distressed. And you can see that he is distressed, and he is going to do a so he is going to cast a spell, and from all around him, this energy begins to swirl. It's probably very much unlike any magic you've ever seen, Jericho. Now you could roll an Arcana check, but I'm also gonna roll the little thing here, because. Oh, actually, hold on. I could do that at a different time. No, now's probably appropriate. It's probably
Jericho can roll Arcana.
turn.
He will.
Yeah, it's probably
He may
into
not be
his
formally
turn.
trained in this yet, but he's heard a lot of weird things here and there. He can hope.
Yeah. So.
If he had described it to me, could I have assisted him?
A 15. Well. You know, I think a 15 is probably enough that you can understand the effects of what this is, but maybe not know what it is. From all around him, you see this aura begin to build up, and it stretches, and you can see it looping around corners, and it's kind of like creeping up, almost like a black fog towards you. And let me set his aura.
Good, more auras.
Oh yeah, no.
I love all the pretty circles. That is a big pretty circle.
So it doesn't quite encompass you, Jericho. But I think you get the feeling that it's beginning. Oh, here's what you see. So these like kind of dead and dried plants that are all around, you see them begin to like wilt and wither at a alarming rate. It's almost like if you're watching a time lapse of like a plant bed that hasn't been watered, right? And like all the plants are just withering and wilting and slowly being sucked of all their energy. And as he does that, he then turns and begins to. He's just walking at this point. He comes around the staircase here, and when he gets to right here, for the group of you outside, you're kind of absorbed by this effect. It doesn't do anything to you right now, but in the interest of not giving it away and leaving it for a surprise, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it does. But you kind of get this like there's this slight sulfurous smell in the air. I think you can see there's almost like a very slight breeze that's blowing through. And it's very cold, it's very chilly, almost like it chills you to your bones. as it begins to wash over you. As Varen kind of comes around the corner, his robes whipping up around him with this wind, and you can also see that all of you can now see like the dry, cracked face that he has, where his wrinkles are like cracked and open, but there's no blood or anything pouring out of him. It almost looks like his face is made out of like paper mache. And as he's kind of like approaching to you, you can see the grimace and the growl and the anger on his face. He is then going to... that doesn't count as his action. That's a special ability he has. Sometimes you fight creatures that are legendary in their lairs. So then... Oh no, not that one. The most interesting target he sees at this juncture, I think he's still hidden, the staircase still hides Cahill. But Farron, he sees you like rearing up from the bone cage, which is now like kind of collapsing in and of itself. And he's going to cast a spell at you. Well, it's not really a spell.
So I'm currently dodging, so...
Correct, yeah, so it has disadvantage.
Does it miss?
Yeah, so what happens is he holds out his fist, or he holds out his hand in kind of an open palm, and you can see there's like this kind of greenish, ghoulish energy that's building up in it. And then he closes his fists, almost in like a grasping motion. And flying out towards you is this energy that's kind of spiraling, and you can't really... It's kind of whipping up the wind as well. And instead of hitting you, it probably hits the cage in front of you, and it just shatters apart. Spraying like little flecks of bone and bone dust everywhere. Yeah, but don't worry, it misses. And I actually have to look, because I can do some... Okay, good. Cool. Alright, so we move on to the archers. So Jericho, this one was alerted to your presence, obviously, when he turned and...
I mean, I think they're all alerted to my presence at this point.
And looked at you. So he's going to turn and begin... He's going to move up so that he can see you at the very least, because he couldn't before. And he will end up taking a shot at you. I think that this skeleton over here is probably going to do something very much the same, except from like across the balcony. If you can reach that far, I think they have. I don't know if they have short bows or long bows. And then these two are just going to take shots. Obviously, probably one at Cahill because he's available, and then probably one at Kree because you're kind of mounted and up high, more visible than Morella is. So I've got two shots going at Jericho and one going at Kree and one going at Kate. These actually go up again. For S. Alright, so oh, they do have longbows. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely within range. So the two at Jericho first. I don't think either of those hit. So
nope, he dances nimbly among the arrows.
Cahill's next. That's a hit. And then for you, Kree, I believe that's a miss. So Cahill does take 9 damage. However. Okay, he's got plenty of health. He's got plenty of health. No big deal. Okay, yeah, so that's their turn. Now, at the end of your turn, at the end of their turn, prior to you doing anything, Hannah, as you begin to prepare your turn to go, your action that you will enact, you see the wind swells and a sandstorm appears in front of the doorway. And how this works is, I will actually roll this one. This is a cool thing. I'm going to spend legendary actions. Turn into a whirlwind of sand. I can move 60 feet wherever I so choose. And you see the whirlwind coalesce up on the top floor where you were. and you see like the edges of the robes begin to move into vision. And now you all are inside of his aura. Isn't it swell? Okay,
It's
your
not
turn,
an
Hannibal.
anti-magic aura, or I suppose if it was, I'd immediately know.
You would, yeah, no, you would immediately begin to die.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Well,
not actually joking.
No, I
Well-
understand. That's